Scentland, the land of scent. Hello everybody and welcome to a new edition of Scentland. I'm Chris. Let's put this window back up. Haven't been around for a while, and if you wonder about my eye, I got an eye infection here, so there's some crazy stuff going on. But been a little bit busy with work and things like this, and but I haven't been resting in terms of fragrances either, because I was digging in there into a new line that I got to know. I knew about it before, but at the start of the year I thought that I need a little bit of a burst into the new year, and I really decided to dig deeper into this fragrance line, especially since it's representing, or it's being branded, or it's trying to recreate the aura of a famous Hollywood actor, one of my favorite characters in Hollywood, Steve McQueen. Steve McQueen, well, about a few words about him. I think he was sort of branded the king of cool in his days, and even today. He only lived 50 years, and in those 50 years he really did a lot of good stuff, and he was a very cool personality, also quite edgy as well, and quite it's quite special. He didn't fit into the usual Hollywood crowd, I think, and he didn't want to fit in there either. So if you look at people like this, only very few. I actually think that the initial person who really started it all was James Dean, who was way ahead of his time, but he passed away very early, and then people like Brando, Elvis Presley, and Steve McQueen sort of carried somehow that legacy on, adding their own personality and becoming legends. And recently, in 2012, a fragrance line came out, branded Steve McQueen. Actually, already earlier, I think in 2010, there was an initial limited edition King of Cool fragrance, Steve McQueen King of Cool, and this line that I will introduce to you here shortly is a follow-up to that, describing the different aspects of Steve McQueen's personality a little bit more closer, or at least trying to. But I can tell you in advance that the fragrances succeed in several aspects. So we're talking about a fragrance line here, 2012. I don't know the perfume, I don't know the nose. And one more thing, why am I sitting in the car? Steve McQueen was a passionate race driver, and loved his cars. And I'm sitting these days with my new job, and a lot of time in cars, traveling between cities back and forth. So I thought, it's a perfect environment. It fits me because it's my working environment during the week, and it fits Steve McQueen because he was into cars. So this is why it's not the usual environment here. It's this line here, the fragrance line, consists of 3 members. They're called Legend, Extrem, and Mythic. And let me dig into them all together, because I think they are covering Steve as this this trio here. They're really they have a bond here. I'll tell you why. Let's start with Extrem. Why is it Extrem? First of all, it's all eau de parfum, right? So the projection, longevity, sillage, well above an eau de toilette. It's very good stuff. Lasts you 12 hours more. So the Extrem, this is being, I'll show you a little bit how it looks like. It's very nice. It's a very classy bottle, very manly, and the whole, this metal thing. It's really nice. Cap, It's like this, and the sprayer is like that. Only complaint is a little bit about the sprayer. Could be a bit better, you see. But still, fragrance makes up for it. So regarding Extrem, well, it's a very interesting stuff here with Extrem, because it's a woody, fruity. The start of the fragrance has this pomegranate, raspberry, fruity aspect going with cloves, and it's quite an unusual smell. It's not woody from the start, but then it mellows down into a guaiac wood supported patchouli affair that in the dry down is a bit similar to Trussardi Fresh. It's a very rare fragrance at this stage, but it's very, very nice, smooth and manly based after the sort of unusual start to the fragrance. It's a fresh, unusual start to the fragrance, going down to this little bit also like at one stage it's a bit macho. It's a bit sometimes it reminds me of a deodorant used back in the 70s, 80s. It's really like that, but it stays in a very quality manner. So the deodorant aspect is not a bad thing about it. It's really, and it's supposed to represent Steve McQueen and the decades. We're talking about the 60s, 70s, even up to into the 80s. So, and it does the job very well, I think. It's an extremely well made fragrance, and it covers this fresh, woody, fruity, then mellowing down into this woody base. It's just very nice, very well done. Then on the other hand, you have Mythic. It's all on the side here, written there. This to me is the most interesting. It was the first from the line. When I read this on Fragrantica, and it said red at the top notes, it says red berries and pine. Okay. And that's being supported by patchouli as well. Afterwards, after a while. And I thought to myself, well, I gotta get this because I love pine, but it's rarely well done. And with red berries and pine, what will I get? It's amazing. The stuff is amazing. The pine and the red berry playing a tennis game, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, all throughout the entire fragrance. Patchouli is there as well, to make an impact. But to me, patchouli actually, when we're talking about patchouli, it's very interesting because I think it's the patchouli aspect that gives it a little bit of, after a while, not at the beginning, but after a while, gives it a little bit of an ashtray aspect, which we know that Steve McQueen was a heavy smoker. So it gets a bit dirty. I think it's due to the patchouli and the interplay between the pine and the red berries, and this makes it even more, a hit on the head of the nail, because it really represents the sort of a dirty side of this manly, rough, dirty side of Steve McQueen. Love this one. It's fantastic. And then we have Legend. Well, the man himself was a legend, right? So, what about this one? This is a very easygoing affair here. This is the sensitive side of Steve McQueen. It's clementine, musky, bit maybe of lavender in there, and a gentle, probably sandalwoody, light wood background. Light wood base notes. But the main thing here is the musk and the clementine. The orange feeling. At some stage at the very beginning, it reminds me a little bit of Artisan by John Varvatos, and or even at some stages just slightly of Terre d'Hermes, but it's not mineralic at all. This is more musky. But this is nice. This could easily be worn by a woman as well. Like you know, in the morning when a girl wears her boyfriend's shirt. Totally, this is this sort of feeling. So I think actually the three fragrances are covering different aspects maybe of Steve McQueen's personality. Of course, I didn't know the man, but to me, that's the message that comes across. So this is the sensitive side of the man. You know, every man has a sensitive side, or most of us do. And this is the one, the Legend version. Easygoing Sunday morning, springtime morning, you know, breakfast in bed. Legend. Mythic, the heavy smoker. I don't care, you know, badass guy who is just, you know, edgy and doesn't take no for an answer. We know from the box, it's written up here in the box, that's how a box looks like. This is the box of Legend, and in the back it says, if I believe in something, I fight like hell for it. When I believe in something, I fight like hell for it. That's a statement from Steve McQueen, and that's the fragrance to it, really. And that's a statement that Mythic does with this red berry and pine thing. And then the Extrem, that is the Hollywood King of Cool fragrance. Really, I'm a man. I know what I want. I have style to no end. And Steve McQueen was extreme. He was an extreme personality of that Hollywood crowd. And this is totally representing him. So in terms of daytime, nighttime, or even age, I think anyone who is looking for high quality fragrances, very well priced, reasonably priced fragrances, is, you know, is on the right place here with these ones. Also, what I want to highlight, these are not your typical celebrity fragrances, okay? This is not your, I deliberately don't want to name anyone, I don't want to offend any other brand, but this is not your, you know, let's try to put something on the market celebrity fragrance. You can feel with these fragrances that there's work behind it. Even if I don't know the noses or the nose, you can feel that there's been thought put behind it. And actually on the box it says somewhere it's been done in Steve McQueen, licensed by Chadwick McQueen, who is his son, and then it goes on. So the family is being involved as well. So I think it's really these three fragrances are representing Steve McQueen in a very complex, nice way. The different aspects of his personality are being represented here very well, and I really like it. And I think anyone can wear it who has the balls to wear it. And you can even, you know, change. So if you're not in the, you know, badass mood today, and then you go for the Legend one with the Clementine. If you think you're king of cool today, you go with the Extreme. If you think that you don't care and you know, you just go for it. That's the Mythic one. My favorite, if you ask me, is the Mythic one, because I did the red berry pine. You know, that's amazing stuff. I haven't smelt it in any other fragrance, so that's also something good. Except for probably Legend, none of these fragrances remind me of something else. These are unique things here. So yeah, that was me again. I'm happy to be back. Gonna be driving tomorrow as well a lot. So what sort of music would I put in to match up with the mood of these fragrances? Maybe Triggerfinger, nice Belgian band, fantastic. Junior Kimbrough, love Junior. Maybe the Fun-Loving Criminals, yeah baby, or even Ray Wilson. We'll see. Which one should I choose for tomorrow? Go with Extreme. I'll take that on with me to the road for those few days to come. It was a pleasure. Take care. Thanks for watching. Any feedback, please let me know. Sorry if I was a bit all over the place, but first of all, this eye is just bothering me, and haven't done a review for a while, but I like it. I love it. So I'll be back. Thanks again for watching, and